Biohacking is not really what you do.
It's like bioslacking. Oh, you can't be a biohacker. You dye your hair. And what about Botox, girl? You know what's more toxic? Your attitude.
What made you go vegan?
Well, because everyone was vegan.
Oh my God.
You can be honest. Come on.
I truly believe that no one can do it better than me.
I don't want your life. Having a passion outside of your kids is super important.
That's the kind of adulting I like. Let's party, but make sure you're out by 11.
Your best fitness trainers are actually...
If you are watching this episode on video and my brows stick out to you so much, I'm sorry. I just got my microblading and I cannot see any other features on my face but my brows. But if you're just listening to me, just FYI, I got my brows microbladed. They're gonna look great in like 2 weeks. Right now, it's insane. Okay, you guys, I am back from Europe. We just came back from our family trip in Spain. I honestly enjoyed every bit of it. I think it brought us closer as a family. It actually made me also learn a lot of things about my kids because they changed so rapidly, especially at these ages. So just overall, 10 out of 10. The only thing is that my kids sat me down and they're like, listen, this was amazing, but please let's not do this again. And when I say not do this again, they meant by let's not hop around different cities for 3 weeks, because that was chaotic, I gotta say. And it was the first time we've done it. And I told them, you guys, we've never done it. I didn't know. And now I know. We had the experience. And now we know that if we go away, we're gonna go and stay in one spot. And if we want to travel around, whatever, with little backpacks, we can do that. So a lot of lessons, a lot of learnings. I absolutely loved Spain. It hit the mark. Actually, the first time I went to Spain was when I was about 17 for modeling, and I loved it. We went to Barcelona. I actually had the best kind of like history excursions in Barcelona. So there was a charm to it, but definitely when we got to Madrid, I was like, oh my God, this is my city. The energy was amazing. People were so chic, extremely clean. I don't know what the heck you guys are doing there. You guys, if you're listening from Madrid, what are you doing there? It's so clean, and we really enjoyed our time. And then of course finished it up in Marbella, where we got to really relax, enjoy just the town and everything around it and just the sun. And it was magical. Probably the most magical thing was the fact that we were still playing in the beach at like 9 p.m. That is absolutely goals. Like the days were so long that I didn't feel the need to rush through anything, which you know the feeling when you go on vacation, you're like, I need to seize the day, I need to try to accomplish and do all the things, and you sacrifice sleep and just kind of lounging around. Well, in Spain you didn't have to because you would wake up, even if it's later in the day, you have literally 10 to 12 hours to do everything you want to do. So I got the naps in, I got the shopping in, I got the lying on the beach, playing in the water, everything and anything. I loved it. Anyways, I've already been planting seeds for Gary that next year in the summer, I want to get a house in Marbella and just stay there for like a month or 2 or 3. No. Yeah, like 1 or 2. Anyways, okay, today's episode is with Aggie. Aggie is a best-selling author. She is a biohacker. And above all those things, she's also just an amazing, driven entrepreneur. I feel close to her and connected because we both come from like the Eastern European roots, and just seeing her coming to the US and building her company, her mission, her brand has been really cool. We have a lot of mutual friends, and I'm so happy that we finally got a moment to actually sit down and have a conversation. I have been trying to tell her that she needs to move to Miami. That's how much I like her. I want her to be closer. But I love her approach to biohacking. I love the way she speaks on empowering yourself, especially as females, with our health and understanding the measures that we need to take. All of us know and see, like, there are constantly studies coming out of all the things we should do, then not do. And it can get so overwhelming, and I just love the philosophy she follows because it's pretty intuitive, which I think comes naturally for a woman if we let it happen, you know, if we connect to that place. So even though I walked into this conversation thinking she's going to give me this playbook of how to optimize my health, what I left with is actually a feeling of I can figure it out and my body knows what it needs. I just need to listen. And I feel like we need more experts and leaders like that, you know, in the world of wellness and biohacking. So I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I left just feeling lighter, more connected to myself, and I hope you feel the same. She's also pregnant with her first baby. I felt like a wise old lady, just being like nodding and smiling, you know? That's what experience does to you. So without further ado, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Aggie, I'm so happy we're doing this.
I know. I've followed you for so long that I was like, oh my God, like it feels like I know you. Now meeting in person, I'm like, wow, your energy is so amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, like,
I appreciate that.
Because you never know, right?
Yeah, you never know.
Especially that you're so good at with content. I'm like, you never know.
True.
But like, you're super calm. Like,
oh, thank you. That means a lot. We actually, well, I got introduced to you through our mutual friends, Alex and Mimi.
oh, I know, in Dubai.
So Alex was the one that connected us initially.
Yeah.
It's also funny because we know a lot of the same people.
Yeah, we do.
I guess it's a small crowd.
But I remember in Dubai, I was like, my message was like super random because I was like so shy because your account was so big. I was like, there's no way she's gonna want to hang out with us. And we saw you with Jacob and you were taking photos on the stairs in this beautiful gown. I'm like, I'm not coming up to her. There's no fucking way. Because you look so stunning. And I was like in my shorts, like coming out of the gym. And I was like, oh no, like she will be like, who are you? So I was like too shy to say hi.
So we missed an opportunity to hang out in Dubai.
Yeah, like 3 years ago.
Which was a great trip.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
So over the top.
I was like, these are the kind of jobs we live for.
I was like, I can't go back to Dubai after that because I feel like it would be a subpar experience.
Yeah, the fact that it was just influencers and media at that hotel.
Insane.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Okay, but when I started following you through that connection, I was like, okay, this girl knows what she's talking about. Like you've been going through your own experiences, like your own health journey, trying to figure out what's true and what's false, and even the people you're sitting down with, you know, the biohackers and all the things. Yeah. I love how you are deriving very like realistic messages out of it, because the world of biohacking in the past couple of years have become
you can be honest, come on.
Its own language. Sometimes I my eyes starts rolling on their own when I listen to certain people. I'm just like, oh my God, come on, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely a competition of who knows more, who can show they're doing more. And I just feel like, okay, can I swear?
Yes,
okay.
Please.
It's like, no shit, you're healthy if you're literally not living your life, because all you do is sauna, cold plunge, 700 modalities and breath work, and you're not eating fucking anything that's actually good and tasty. I'm like, yeah, and I have great labs. I'm like, well, yeah, but you don't live. So I'm like, how can I live? How can I still dye my hair, get my nails done and be healthy? Like, that's the question I'm asking myself, because I don't know if about you, like your nails are beautiful, but I feel like growing up in Eastern Europe, like how much beef did you get from your mom from not getting your nails like in order?
I feel like she's still giving me shit about it. I want them so beautiful, but I don't have the patience. So like I just do what I can. I meet myself where I'm at. But yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
like there's standards that you just have to follow.
Yeah, and then like everywhere you go, like I go back to Poland and my mom's like, let's just pick up some groceries, and she's like, I'm not going with you like that. Like, what are you wearing? Right? Like it's like a level of like excellence in a way that people in Europe have. Like they don't walk around homeless like we do in LA, which is like, you know, stretched out t-shirt and like dirty clothes, and you know, I'm guilty of that. So it's just like, it's like a different attitude. But the question I'm asking is like, how can we get our makeup done, go out for dinner, and still be healthy instead of just removing ourselves from life and, you know, being happy that you're healthy? I'm like, yeah, but it's also super sad. Like, I don't want to do that. Like,
that's not a life to live. Take me back where that started for you in general, because I know you even mentioned like the whole Eastern European standards and how we were raised and how we thought we needed to look like. Was that any...
Well, the funny thing is, I kind of feel like my grandma was right, because I was vegan for 8 years, and my grandma's like, you know, you have to eat a little bit of meat because it's good for you. You don't have to eat a lot, just have a tiny little bit.
But what made you go vegan?
Well, because everyone was vegan like
how old
10
were
years
you?
ago. That was like 25. I feel like we were all vegan at some point, and we were all eating smoothie bowls and posting on Instagram, and it
That's
was
true.
right
With that like filter that Instagram has.
yeah, like yeah. So we all were like eating sugar for breakfast and just smoothies and lattes and whatnot. And it was like I tried all of it, and then I was getting bigger and puffier and more tired. And I was like, oh, I'm probably not trying hard enough. So I'm just going to do even more juicing and even more cleansing and even less fat and even more berries and even more Pilates. And then like nothing was working. And I was like, okay, cool. I guess I'm broken. And like, I will never be that girl,
What was the goal for you? Like in this whole journey, were you just like wanted to be thin? What was the goal for you?
The goal was to be thin, like at 25, the thinner the better, right? Like I think that was what was trending, right? Like it didn't really matter. Now everyone wants to have a butt. Back in the day, everyone just wanted to have like, as skinny as possible. So that, but also like over time it became a goal of like, okay, I don't want my skin to be full of acne, or I don't want to feel like shit all the time because I have no energy. And I was like, oh, it's just like constantly pushing. And I was like, for sure that's not how we're meant to live, right? So I was like, I started asking questions like, what if the diet that's quite popular for women isn't exactly the best for us? And what if maybe the fact that I don't have my period has something to do with my weight and my skin and my hair. And so that's how I discovered biohacking. But for me it was very much like the Olympics. It's like you either do it all or don't even bother. You're not like a real biohacker. And I'm like, I think there's so much judgment, and a lot of women were like, oh, you can't be a biohacker because you dye your hair, and what about Botox? And I'm like, girl, you know what's more toxic? Your fucking attitude. Like, because
let's biohack that.
Yeah, because it's like women get so judgmental about like, what are you doing to your face? What are you doing? Like, does it really matter? Can you live your life and get those tiny pleasures? For some, it's Botox. For some, it might be, I don't know. We became this like crazy society where it's like you either do everything perfect and I'm gonna nitpick you.
Okay, I've been using Clearstem for a few months now, actually 6-7 months. Discovered the brand back then, and I gotta tell you, I'm very particular with the skincare that I use. I also don't love to switch it too much, but something told me I gotta try it because the whole idea behind Clearstem and honestly the founders as well just really spoke to me. So two of the products that I've been absolutely loving and using repeatedly, like made a few orders already because I emptied them out, was the Hydra Glow Stem Cell Moisturizer. I love how soft and plump my skin looks. It feels like it just drinks it all up. And it's actually perfect for summertime as well. I'm always dealing with issues when the consistency is a bit too thick and it just kind of sits on your skin. Don't have any issues with the Hydra Glow. And then the Gentle Clean Vitamin Infused Calming Wash, which is amazing for sensitive skin, which is non-drying and non-stripping of the skin barrier, which is key in general, because I feel like once you use any products that dry your skin, you look older. Just facts. So grateful that I found Clearstem because clear skin changes everything. Clearstem was founded in 2017 by Danielle Gronich and Kaylee Christina, who we actually had on Not Alone in early 2025. And you guys loved the episode because there were so many amazing gems of information. Discover the Clearstem difference and experience clear, healthy skin for life. Go to clearstem.com/Valeria and use code Valeria at checkout for 15% off your first order. That's CLEARSTEM.com/Valeria and code Valeria for 15% off. Let's go back to the pure definition of what biohacking is, because again, with the last couple of years, with all the experts and information and everyone's talking about these crazy rituals, again, I feel like we kind of lost the plot a little bit. So what is like the basic definition of biohacking?
So biohacking was created by Dave Asprey, and he describes it as optimizing your biology to become the best version of yourself, essentially. So whatever that might mean, it's changing your diet, lifestyle, mostly focusing on recovery and diet, then exercise. I would say like in fitness industry, they would tell you that workout, as long as you're in your calorie goal. Like it doesn't really matter if you're gonna have Snickers or a salad, you can hit your goal. That's like the toxic fitness advice, like, you know.
We're just like get these calories in and no really understanding of what are those calories come from. Like
Yeah, or like not understanding hormones and like, you know, it's a lot about calories in, calories out. So if you want to lose weight, you would be in calorie deficit. But for us women, it can be disrupting for hormones. And I think we've all tried calorie deficit. It works for a little bit short term, but it doesn't long term. And the goal is like, what is it that can do to actually have a sustainable like lifestyle? That I don't have to like yo-yo back and forth. And so yeah.
So when you got introduced to Dave Asprey and his like approach to biohacking, because what you do is specifically geared towards women, which wasn't really the case before. Before it was, I see a lot of, I mean, Dave Asprey and then a lot of other men that came up with the
like,
biohacking, the biohacking bros, you know? So I see a lot of that, but there wasn't really any women that were talking about it and about that, you know, making it individual to our needs. So at what point after you got introduced to that, you started like, okay, well, this doesn't really apply to what my body needs?
Tested the biohacking thing and I realized like, wow, it's very different when I go to the gym with Jacob, my husband, than boyfriend, because it's like he recovers differently and he can get away with very different foods, and I would have different like dietary needs. Like I would maybe need more carbs and rest around my period, and I realized like, oh, I felt bad, I felt weak, like I'm not as good as him, and it was a bit of a competition. And I realized I was like, wait, but we are different. And so like, yes, it's easier for men to build muscle and of course be better at certain things. And so I started diving deeper and I was like, okay, cool, like what about the actual period? Can I adjust my workouts and my nutrition to my cycle? And that basically just completely changed my results. And I was like, okay, like this is the missing piece that I couldn't really figure out.
When you started kind of connecting it to the hormones and cycle, were there any, like, was there any literature or anybody that gave you information about it? Because I remember when I first learned about cycle syncing, there wasn't really a lot out there to educate myself on.
No. And it's like you had to read either a research. So like right at the beginning, I had a friend who was like she had a PhD in research, so she was the one kind of helping me understand a few things. But Alyssa Vitti was one of the like OGs,
the first ones,
and Dr. Anna Kabeka, for example, and her book The Hormone Fix. So there were women in this space for sure, but they're my mom's age, right? So like I just was like, wow, where's a woman who's like in her 20s or 30s who still has a cycle and who can help me navigate that? And I couldn't find a single one, you know, a few years ago. And I was like, well, I guess I'll become
her.
Yeah.
I love that. So when you kind of stopped following the wellness rules, the wellness trends, veganism, whatever else you did, and you started leading into your biology and intuition, and then also ancestral wisdom, which is very interesting because you also touch on that. Tell me how you and what are the rituals that you kind of started picking up and understanding that this is something that's benefiting you, your body.
Yeah, I may always make a disclaimer that there's the woo-woo part of me and there's the science part of me. So a lot of times people are like, whoa, she's sinking shit to the moon. Like, this is not biohacking. I'm like, I'm not pretending it's biohacking. This is literally the woo-woo Aggie.
Why do you call it woo-woo?
Well, because people are like, get so like freaked out. I'm like, you can label whatever you want. It's almost like we got to the 21st century and we threw away everything we've been doing for years and years and years, which is like living according to the moon, like having communities, like, you know, like we threw it all away. We make fun of Chinese medicine, which is so knowledgeable. So like, it's just like using your own judgment and trying to figure out like what actually works for you, you know?
So what have been working for you?
People always say like, you know, when you go to Europe and you feel so much better, and why do you feel so much better? Why do you I think it's resetting your nervous system is by far the most underestimated hack. But not like a lot of people like sit in a meditation and they're like, okay, it's kind of boring, it's not doing anything. But really just nail, like whether it's hypnotherapy, whether it's
I love hypnotherapy.
Yeah, it's the best.
When did you first tried it?
A few years ago, and I just did 2 this year as well, and one for because I'm pregnant, so I did one to like rebuild my relationship with pregnancy and motherhood, and that was amazing. I was like 4 weeks pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah.
So to me, that's the next big thing that will blow up. That's my prediction, hypnotherapy, because it also has such stigma around it, you know, because you think hypnotherapy, you think about the movies when they put that clock and put you in hypnosis.
Yeah, and
And
people were
then,
scared. I was like, I don't want to go to someone because they're gonna have a control over my mind and won't be able to like
God.
escape.
Gary lost his shit when he heard that I did hypnotherapy.
Oh, really?
He's like, "How do you know they didn't put something in your mind? How do you know that?" I was like, "Dude, like you're there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you're going to some other different universe. Like it's like I was there, but I was just in such deeply meditative state that I was able to reach places that I wouldn't be able to reach or like
Yeah, it's kind
process.
of crazy. So, like, for those who don't know how hypnotherapy works, they just relax your body, and you lie down, and then they, for example, can say stuff. I'm going to count to 5, and by the time I count to from 5 to 1, so by the time you hear 1, you're going to tell me one experience that you think might have an impact on your weight or like your relationship with yourself or your relationship to motherhood. And then like when she starts at 5, you're like, I have no idea, this is crazy, right? Because you're still in like your conscious mind. By the time you get to 1, you remember something super random from your childhood. It's crazy. You have these memories that you've never remembered.
I know. That's so scary to me sometimes though.
I was expecting some like really big events, you know, like I wonder what happened to me. It was just like the tiniest little moments of like my grandpa saying something and me making a wrong assumption as a child, or, you know, a situation where what I did with money hypnosis, I felt like I was constantly losing money, making really good money and losing money. And during hypnosis, what came up is that I felt like I need to pay people back for being around. I was like, why do I feel like I need to pay people for me to be around? And then we went in and it was a conversation of my parents saying that they were fighting over money. And it's like, now that the family is so big, we can't afford X, Y, and Z, you know? And I was like, oh, I'm the youngest. And I remember having this thought as a 7-year-old, like, oh, so since I'm around, they don't have money, which obviously was an interesting connotation. But like, I realized like, oh, it's now time for me to pay them back.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I just remember sitting on the couch, them having this conversation, and me coming to this conclusion that I need to work enough to like be successful enough when I'm an adult to pay them back because they got poor because of me.
That's wild. But you know, think about it. In conventional therapy, for you to reach that place, it takes a long time.
I mean, I never reached that place, you know, in 37 years, I've never reached that place in traditional therapy. I was just like, oh, I'm not good with money, or like, I'm losing, and then you get to that like moment. I was like, huh, interesting.
Like it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
And you feel like you were able to change.
I think so. I think it's just like you feel like there's this like that feeling when you come out of like, wow, we think we're so original, or we think who we are is who we are. And then you remember like these little things from your life that shape who you are. And it's such a shame that one event or one conclusion or one thing that someone said 25 years ago changes who you are, you know, has an impact on your worthiness, or has an impact on your weight or money. And so like for me, it's like really fascinating.
My favorite quote, it reminds me of it. I used to say it's by Carl Jung, but actually I don't think it's by him. It's been proven that it's not by him. He said something to that extent, but not that. But it's the quote that goes, until you make the unconscious conscious, it's going to lead your life and you'll call it fate.
Oh my God, this is exactly it, right? Like you feel like this is, oh, it's just happening. Or like, oh, I have bad luck or whatever. Instead of like every time you feel like your life isn't like flowing, you like ask yourself like, oh, I'm the only constant. So maybe there is something energetically that people are not reading right, you know?
So you tapped into hypnotherapy. Love that. And what else, where else did you go that you were like, this is something that really changed it up for me?
So for example, like we have this like wellness app, like cycle syncing, but for me, it was like this idea, there's 4 pillars that there's fitness, right? So you have to move your body. You need to eat healthy. So nutrition, you need to do recovery. So breath work, meditation, having a nice bath, like helping your body relax and unwind. And the final one is mindset. And I think a lot of times we underestimate how important it is to have a purpose in life. As a woman, especially, or making a purpose your family and projecting that. And I think having a passion outside of your kids is super important, because I think
Wait, I want you to repeat that. That's very interesting to me. So you're saying that for women, it's important to have a purpose outside of their family.
yes, and it doesn't have to be they need to have a job. It doesn't mean that they have to, I don't know, build an empire or whatever the hell would sell women. But it's just like one thing that you feel like, why did I come on this planet? Right? Like what's the one special gift that only I have? And family is like a period of life that you can commit to for 5-6 years, because your kids need attention. But I don't think it could be
5-6 years?
Well,
Babe, it's much longer than that.
no, but like in terms of like your full attention, that I don't know, you take time off and you just was like, I'm gonna have kids and do nothing else. It's gonna be
Right.
for full focus. But I feel like in the overall lifespan, I see women that hate their jobs. They don't put any effort into finding out what they're here for. They put the absolute bare minimum, complain about their boss, and then they're like asking like, why am I feeling shit? I'm like, well, because you put like absolute zero effort into like your purpose. All you care about is like, I don't know, gossip or finding a husband, and it's like they feel unfulfilled. And I think having that one purpose, no matter how big or small, is something that like we know provides longevity, but also is like it gives you joy. Like it overrides, like even you doing this here, right? Like you having a platform to speak your voice.
Yeah.
It's so powerful.
100%. In terms of that, because you said how you went to do your hypnotherapy to release certain fears around being a mother. Was that one of those fears? Being like suffocated with motherhood?
I mean, it'd be like, what does everyone tell you? Like, you just wait until you're a mother. Nothing, you won't be able to do anything. You won't have sex. You won't like have fun. You know, everything's gonna be a sacrifice. You look like shit. And like, this is what every single woman tell you, right? Like they're like, and I was like, that could be their reality. I don't like. So one of the mantra that I have every time someone shares some like limiting story that I don't want, I was like, it's not my reality, because it's like I want to like look at people and take advice from people that I actually look up to, instead of just take advice from everybody. And so a lot of times on social media, I'm sure people give you advice on everything, whether it's motherhood or not, and they share these stories. I'm like, oh, cool, it's not my reality. I don't want it to be my reality. But you have to be really protective with boundaries. And I think with motherhood, it's triggering, you know, in terms of that. So I would just say like that would be something that I really not struggle, but it was like the biggest purpose for me, that like, I don't mind committing 1, 2, 3 years to motherhood alone, but I want to come out of it and just have a purpose in my life. And I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, because it's like, oh, you need to,
I
your
don't
kids
think
could
so.
be a purpose.
I think that sharing my own experience, I had similar kind of emotions around it, just like you have, but not before I got pregnant. Obviously, after I already had kids, because I got pregnant at 21. Like, well, I had a baby, 22, 23, and then 28. Wow. So when I got married at 21, I was very young, you know, I was excited to start a family. Didn't think about it too much.
Which is the best thing.
Youth is such a blessing. You really don't sit with shit, you know? You're just like, okay, let's go. When I started my process with the motherhood and everything, it hit me after I had kids and after I had my first and second. And I was like, wow, it's like, I'm not feeling this fulfillment that I hear people are feeling. Like, is this going to be the rest of my life? Didn't really have anyone there to, first of all, tell me, hey, there's a season to everything. Just like you yourself, you're like, it's going to be the 3, 4, 5 years where it's all I'm focused on. Didn't really have that. And it was also in the era of girl boss. So I was just like looking around me being like, I need to do something. Like, this can't be it. It took me a long time to figure it out. But something that really changed my perspective on motherhood and put me in a place of embrace and gratitude rather than like fear that it's going to swallow me was when I read Eckhart Tolle, New Earth.
I mean, this is the best book on the planet.
The best book ever. But there was literally, it was one
but so
freaking
mature
paragraph.
of you, because it's like, this is how you know like where you are in your journey, whether you can go through the book or not.
But I haven't finished the book, because that is the kind of book that's like, I pick it up when I feel like it's calling me.
Yeah, but because it's like, you can't just sit and read the whole thing.
No, you also, if you're not there to, at the right place at the right time to absorb it, you just read it and you're like, what is this nonsense?
Yeah, no, it's like, you're like, this is
you
weird.
can't make
I'm
sense
like,
out of it.
Yeah.
But that paragraph that I read, that chapter specifically, was really around roles. And, you know, the idea of like you have your essence, you have your identity, and then there's all these beautiful roles that you play. And when I started viewing my life and just my existence in that way, there was more sense to it for me, because I was like, every role that I play has an expiry date. Every role that I play requires a different something of me. And I have the opportunity, like what a pleasure, what so much gratitude to play this role, but it's not me. So when it is goes away, when I depart from that role, it's not gonna take, you know, everything, like my foundation away from me. And that's just changed the way I operated.
Oh my God, I'm gonna so butcher the quote because I heard someone say that motherhood is this, your role is to raise someone you can't live without to live without you.
Oh my God, I know. I cried when I read it. So annoying.
Because it's true,
I
right?
know. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, you know that this has an expiry date, and ultimately you want your child to like be independent and no longer be there. And like, what do you do then? Then people have this like insane middle life crisis. And at the end of the day, that's the thing. If there is some theme, whether it's charity or I don't know, you do something on Etsy or like, you know, just like anything that you know, like, you know, people compliment me on how well I speak, or like, I'm sure before you even start a podcast, it could be like, there is something about me that people like the way I dress, or you're very good at communicating trends, communicating like sometimes complicated issues in a very simple term. That's I really, really love following your content because it's like, you're just so effortless about it. And I'm like, watch you do it. And I'm like, she just did it. And like, I don't know how many times it took you to say it, but it's like what I want to be more of. Like, you don't seem, and you might be, but I don't care what reality is. To me, you're like a symbol of someone who doesn't overthink shit. You just say what you think and you just are.
Oh my God. Well, thank you.
Take it. Don't.
I'll take. Okay, I'm embracing it, taking it, owning it. Thank you. That
but
means
sometimes you
a lot
like
to
turn
me.
on the camera and say what you think. And I'm like, a lot of us like have an opinion, and then the camera goes on, and they're like, oh, never mind. You know, like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, which happens to me still. But yes, definitely. It is special to recognize certain gifts, or let even the world kind of show you your gifts, and then over-indexing them, and like building your own sense of purpose. What you're saying. So in your app, when there's like the mindset, you said nutrition. I'm interested in hearing the recovery part, because also when you started with biohacking, explaining to me kind of the concept, you said it is over-indexing on recovery.
Yes. So, for example, right before this podcast, I got up at 5 because my dog was super loud, and we're filming at 2 p.m. And so, sure enough, around 12, I was like, oh, I'm feeling that I only slept like 6 hours. And so, like, I could do a meditation, but doesn't really put me in this rest. So there is this something called non-sleep deep rest, which is a form of, it's otherwise known as yoga nidra, which is like specific form of breathing and meditation and scanning your body. In 15 minutes, I had such a power nap. I feel almost high.
Really?
From just like a specific following a recording. And so maybe we can link it. Andrew Huberman has one on Spotify. So it's like, it's not a meditation, because I feel like meditation sometimes it's hard, especially when you're tired. Breath work, I'm pregnant, can't really do intense breath work. Sometimes breath work is just like masculine and a lot, and this was just like, it's like a beautiful combination. And it's finding a modality that works for you. If it wasn't for this, I would have to drink another coffee or a matcha, and I would arrive here and be like, oh my God, Valeria, I'm like almost dead. But like, because I had that 15 minutes, so it's kind of like understanding, okay, how can I reset my brain and put it in the right brain wave, instead of like pushing, which is very like masculine. Also fitness, you know, do 10 push-ups and I don't know.
Which also requires like a shift in the way you view productivity as well,
because it's more feminine, right? Which is rest and not like go.
Right. It's like in a way, and I don't know if it's just among maybe, you know, immigrant households or in general, I guess society is like that because we are living in the US, but it's like you constantly have to earn your rest. You know what I mean? That's kind of the messaging. So how did you move from that?
Oh, I haven't. I still have a problem with that.
You still have a problem. Okay.
I just realized that I'm more productive when I rest. And this becomes, I'm like, that the task will stretch proportionally to the time I give it. So instead of I was like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, I'm like, no, I know we'll stretch. So I'm going to get 20 minutes. And then, you know, obviously this is not ideal, because the idea of rest isn't for the purpose to recover so you can work more. But sometimes that's your reality, and that's also okay.
What other forms of recovery? Because I love this. I never heard of that
Yeah.
before. What other forms of recovery, especially the ones that you can do kind of midday where it doesn't require like, sorry, I can't come to work today type of thing. Any other?
The world is tapping, but I personally like something that we forget gives you like the best recovery is play. I know this is not something you can do at work, but like we made a point with Jacob, my husband, to like get into board games. And like, you know, at the end of the day when you just want to watch Netflix because your brain is fried and you're like, I can't possibly do it. So we made a point to like try do more board games and like introduce more play and joy. And I think you do that with kids naturally, right? Where the kids are like, well, I don't want to sit, that's boring. And we forget that like we grow old because we stop playing and we become so serious and so like stiff. And play has no purpose. The only purpose of play is
To enjoy, yeah.
yeah, to enjoy. And I think if working with so many women, I'm like, you just need to have a little bit more fun. And I don't, by fun, I don't mean like getting wasted, you know, on Collins Avenue in Miami in a short dress. I mean like what actually brings you joy and be silly and, you know, doesn't require numbing, but like coming more alive.
Is that where the kitchen parties came
Yeah,
from? Because
yeah.
that is epic. I love that. Can
Yeah.
you tell me about this?
Yeah, so we started these series at our house with my husband. So it's basically kitchen club. So we invite DJs to our kitchen and organize these epic parties. And they're actually like alcohol free. We don't really drink. Like,
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, now I definitely don't drink because I'm pregnant. But it's just became this like idea that like, we just want to meet to dance and listen to good music. And it annoyed me that like I like my sleep. And you know when you want to go to a club, you have to stay up till like 11 or 12 by the time it starts.
Insane.
I'm like, I'm exhausted. You know, like you go out for dinner, you sit at dinner for 2 hours, and then like you want to dance. But I'm like, by the time we get to a club, I'm so tired. I'm like, no, my shoes are uncomfortable. I'm going home. And so we decided to start these parties at like 8 p.m. and be done by 11.
Oh my God, I love it. Is there like a sign, be out by 11? Because that's
We
something
asked
I
people-
would.
This is something that we've learned as well. My friend actually, Mary Ruth, she taught me to like put an end to a party. She's like, you want to always leave on a high note.
100%.
So she was like, there should be a day, like the time out. And we basically was like, okay, we're done. And it's like, at the beginning, I was like, oh, that's a little weird. Because, you know, Polish people are like 4 a.m. We're still going. As long
Yeah.
as people are there, we're
Till
like,
the last one standing.
yeah. But I think it's actually healthy. And it gives people this like, hey, we're sending it for 2.5 hours or for 3 hours instead of like feeling like it's there the entire night and there's no urgency. So I actually really like this idea of like parties 8 till 11. This is it. Like come and you know, vibe.
Yeah, then it requires you to be present. You know, you're there for a
Yeah.
specific amount of time and you're enjoying it more. I love
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
see, that's the kind of adulting I like. That's the part that I like. Like, let's party, but make sure you're out by 11.
Yeah, it's funny because it's the exact opposite of what we think we would like when you're like a teenager. You're like, I don't want to be back at 10 p.m., mom.
Yeah.
And now you're like, oh my God, I
Please.
so want to be back by 10. Please.
You guys are good, you and Jacob, at least online, from what I see. You are very good at creating opportunities for like joy and play and fun. And I wonder, is that something that comes like naturally to both of you, or it's something that you guys putting in effort?
Definitely put effort because we're both like, he's running his company, I'm running mine. So you know what it's like. Sometimes it's very easy to feel disconnected and you just like see each other like, I'm busy when he's not, he's busy when I'm not. And so we just made it a point. I was like, at the end of the day, we just want to cultivate this relationship. We've had not so many, but quite a few relationships that weren't that great because I didn't really put that much effort into them, like realistically. So I was like, what can we do to actually have some fun? And I think it translates into everything and translates into your intimacy and how close and good you feel around this person. But it really requires us for us to be like, okay, 6 p.m., putting phones down, we're not doing this. And you know how tempting it might be because, oh, that one more thing. And then this, and then this, you know.
No, it
especially
never ends.
Yeah, especially if it's your own business. You feel like, okay, one more thing. And they were like, no, it's actually not worth it, right? So
Do you have a formula when it comes to like when you know that in your relationship something signals, okay, we need to fresh things up, we need to make more of an effort? Like, what is your ways of communicating it to each other?
Yeah, so
Because I
got better, but yeah,
you
go
did
ahead.
you got better.
I mean, I was a terrible nagging girlfriend.
Oh, you were?
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because a lot of my questions, and in general what I wanted to talk to you, is about biohacking, but I do feel that you're moving into this, especially you guys started a podcast now together on Cool, which
Yeah.
is very cool. I do see that you're like navigating towards relationship and just like very raw conversations around,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
feel
that.
podcast is our attempt to do something together. I feel like as a couple, there should be one thing that you're building together, whether it's a family, whether it's a project. You know, like we definitely like generators, so we love like just coming up with ideas and being creative. And so we felt like it would be good for us to do something together and just have a conversation. So hence the podcast. And I just felt like my podcast I was putting so much effort in getting into biohacking, and I was like, deep down felt like if I'm just interviewing nutrition experts, I'm like, there is so much more to life than the food that you put inside your body.
Well, it also, interestingly enough, kind of goes even against the way you view biohacking.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And so I was like, there's so much more. And I'm like, this doesn't resonate. Right. So like, I want to talk about like actually how you actually feel, like the energy. Because at the end of the day, it's like, we know, like if it was just food, that if when you're like, if you eat this salad, you'll live forever, then that's great. But we know that's not the case. And there are people that are eating super healthy and they get cancer and they die. We know people that eat super unhealthy and they somehow just thrive. Like you go to Italy and they just like smoke and eat pizza and like live life. And I was like, not that I want to smoke, but I just want to like live.
Yeah.
You know, like I just want to look back and I was like, fuck, I really lived. Like this was so fun. We love traveling. We love making the most out of life. And that's like our toxic trait. So together, when we get together, we're like, oh my God, like, you know, we were like, we take it easy this summer. I'm pregnant. And then we plan our entire summer. I'm like, we need to do this and let's climb and, you know, like go hiking Dolomites. So it's just like when you're hungry for life,
Yeah.
then it's just like, to me, that's the best medicine, essentially. Yeah.
I can't wait to, and I'm not being one of those people that are like, you just wait until your mother.
Yeah.
Not at all. But I'm always so excited to hear about the evolution of a relationship once there's another factor.
Yeah.
And obviously like a child.
It's like a curveball. You're
Yeah,
like,
because it really tests, you know, kind of everything you have going on. But it also makes you guys better. Because
hopefully
you have to do better. You know what I mean?
Jacob is I'm very explosive Eastern European. He's very calm British. So he's like, he's been really, really patient. So I think he's like, I think he's going to make a great dad for sure. Because he's like, he's the calm ship of the family. So I feel like if there's any success, I'll give it to him because he's probably gonna just be like, okay, we can do this.
Listen, you only need one of you
Yeah,
guys
one has
in
to
that,
be calm,
you know?
right? And the other
Exactly.
person gets to be crazy.
Exactly. Let's go back to the things that you've tried because I feel like there's also a lot of like glorified tools that are out there and getting pushed to everyone in terms of like, which I mean, I'm a big fan of Asana, but different trackers. Like there's constantly something that is your next solution to your like optimal best life. What are some things that you tried that you see that getting pushed a lot and you're like, ugh, I wish people did not?
Oh my god, you're gonna get me in trouble for like, oh my
Why?
God. Well,
What
because
is
it's just like, it's like
so many.
well, there's so many
Everything.
things in biohacking. Everyone, like, obviously, if it works for some people, that's great. In general, it's like just having a 7-hour morning routine just triggers the fuck out of me.
Right.
Like, I'm like,
who
okay.
has that? I don't know.
People like, I'm doing this and I'm, you know.
Oh,
I'm
it's like
doing
that guy that's like going viral. Did you see where he wakes up at 4 a.m. and then it's a mouth tape and then it's that water bowl and then did you see that?
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
I
Like,
don't know
yeah,
his
he's
name.
like, yeah, but he's like 70 million. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like this whole thing. And I'm just like, why? Like, I still get that. Like, I feel like, what is the one or two things that actually move the needle? I think what happens is like, in the biohacking community, it feels like the more the better.
Yeah.
And the ego gets very attached. You do feel better. When I meet some of these people in the space, it doesn't make them better people. It just makes their labs better.
Right.
but their ego is like,
It's so funny to me because I'm not part of that. And
Yeah.
just like hearing that the goal is to have these amazing labs,
yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah, but like it's a thing. And I'm like, but are you fun to be around? Like, you know, like, are you a good person? Like,
Have you met the guy that's like, what's his name, Brian Johnson?
I haven't met him in person.
You haven't met him?
No.
I feel like that's a perfect person for you to sit down and be like, call BS on all the things that he does.
Maybe. I'm just like, I like warm people. And Brian's amazing. And like, I think he is absolutely crushing. I think that what we're slightly different energetically because I like warmth.
Yeah.
And like people that you just want to snuggle. I look at him like, I don't know if I want to snuggle you. Like,
yeah, he's not very snuggable.
No. So I feel like I just want, warm people that love life.
I think that we need to like claim a new tagline for you. I feel like biohacking is not really what you do.
Yeah,
You're
it's
like
bioslacking. Really, I'm just like, I'm actually bioslacking because it's like I don't know what that would be because it's like because I also don't resonate with people that are like 400 pounds. I'm like, I'm not fat, I'm healthy. I'm like, no, you're fat and that's okay. Like that's we think that fat is a judgment whether it's good or bad, but like I'm Eastern European. I'm like, yes, you are big,
right.
Yeah.
And it's a choice that you made.
Yeah, or like maybe it wasn't your choice, but at the end of the day, let's call a spade, like otherwise it won't change. So I'm like, I feel like there has to be structure. There has to be some sort of like, okay, I want to eat healthy. I want to take care of myself. It's part of like self-respect and self-worth, right? Because it's like this body has been given to you for a reason, but like I think what's here, it's just so much more powerful, right? It changes everything what's here.
So what do you feel like your ethos is now? Like what is your mission?
Survive this pregnancy. How was your first trimester?
I wasn't puking, but I was just nauseous all the time.
Yeah, I puked like twice, but like the nausea and the fatigue in the first trimester, I was like, wow.
No, it's not fun.
No, it's not fun. I'm like, who invented this? I want my money back. This was terrible.
That was not part of the agreement. I know.
No, I think it's just, I want to focus on motherhood a little bit for sure. I want to like really, I had this, everyone's like, you really should, what's going to happen with your supplement company? Or, the app is going to make less money because I essentially do everything myself. I have a very small team and I manage everything. And obviously it's like if you're the breadwinner or if you're an entrepreneur female and there's motherhood coming, there's this stress and people like, oh, we have to have the best year yet and da-da-da. And I realized like, honestly, when I look back in 20 years or when I'm 80 years old, will I think of this pregnancy like I wished I worked more?
Yeah.
Or like at the beginning, or will I think that I trusted myself, that I always am provided for by the universe? So even if I make less, I trust that everything will work out, but at least I won't miss out on that part of life.
Yeah. No, I so recommend you to really cherish it because I had a conversation earlier on and, I had the opportunity to be full-time kind of mom with my first and second, but with my third, we already had a company and we already had like 15 people that would wake up every morning, be like, okay, Valeria, what do we do? This is what we need to do. And I literally gave birth. 2 hours later, I was sitting on my computer doing emails.
No way.
And I had such a terrible, terrible burnout because I was at the phase where it's like I was trying to prove, I don't know to who, maybe to myself, but I think more the world, that I'm this like superhuman, and it really backfired. And I talk about it a lot, and it's like one of my biggest regrets that I really was not present, in the beginning with Maximus, and it sucks.
And it's also like not exactly for him, but it's just like for you, like you've denied yourself that experience. Not necessarily like whether you are a good mom or not. That's not the conversation because you did the best you could, so you are the best mom, right? But it's just like you have denied yourself that grace. And
yeah, 100%. Because of that, with the exhaustion, with the recovery, with, having a baby and then also running this. Yeah, I robbed myself from that experience. So I always talk about it because I know that I'm surrounded by so many ambitious, amazing women that run companies that are expecting kids. And I'm like, this is my experience. Don't make the same mistake because my burnout was very long because it was also attached to so much guilt, Oh,
on
it took
time.
me 3 years to recover from the burnout. 3 years. Not like,
Wow.
oh my God, I'm just going to take a vacation and I came back. No, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what am I doing? Where am I
Wow.
going? So, yeah, that was
Wow.
not fun for me.
No, it doesn't sound fun. But it's like exactly what I'm talking about. It's like this pressure to juggle career and husband, and then you add the baby, so you have the third one ball. And but now you're doing the podcast, so you get another ball, and it just feels like it's never like you put any balls down. You just keep adding more balls into this like juggling, and it becomes insane.
Yeah.
And it be like, you know, when we started Instagram, you just had to take photos. There were no stories. Have you? I don't know if you remember. But it
No,
was
I
so,
don't.
oh, remember at the beginning on Instagram?
I came when there was already all the
Really?
things.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. But like it was the best because you could pretend you could be somewhere for like 2 years. You know, no one would know, or like was no urgency. But what was super interesting is that like it just keeps adding on, you know, with social media, with the
know.
expectations. Now you do stories, now you do whatever, threads, TikTok, YouTube, and there's another platform, another thing you have to do. And now you do stories. Oh wait, you're not doing trial reels? Like that's another, you know what I mean? It's like a hungry ghost. It just never stops.
Yeah.
And unless you have the discipline to just say enough and putting your phone down, you will burn out.
There's a lot of tools I picked up throughout the years of building our platforms and everything that we did. And I think the biggest one is also delegating. That was really, really big because I'm the kind of person that I truly believe that no one can do it better than me. But
Yeah.
I've realized after Gary mentioned it 100 times, where it's like, you're not getting a medal for running yourself to the ground. Like, no one cares if you're doing it all by yourself. That's not an accomplishment. The
Yeah.
accomplishment is building something and enjoying life and learning how to let go so you can enjoy what you're creating. You know what I mean? And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, you're right. That makes sense.
But it's one of the hardest advice to like implement into here because
Yeah.
you feel like that more is more. So you feel like, oh, I'm gonna hire somebody to do this so I can do other things instead
Right.
of like, no, so I can step back, rest, and be ready and prepared for X, Y, and Z. And I think the hardest thing is like, because people work for you, you feel like you have to work the hardest.
Yeah, because you're an example.
Yeah.
But you know what? I started saying now that I don't want to be known as like a woman that works so hard and that's like stressed and does all the things. Like, I do work hard and I love that that's an example my kids see. But I also rest hard. Like, I know how to rest. I'm a good rester.
Really?
Yeah, I do. But that's why really what you said about recovery really spoke to me because I would love to hear more conversations around that. I do think that that's like a big gap that we have right now with when we talk about health, when we talk about fitness, when we talk about everything, the recovery phase.
But even like just like having fun in terms of like, okay, like when I feel low, I'm like, okay, Alexa, play like dance music, and you just like vibe, you know, instead of just like being so serious. I think it's the worst like disease. It's like the seriousness, and they're like following
The
this,
worst
like-
disease is to be an adult.
yeah, really, because you know it just gets so boring.
Yeah.
You know, and you just work, like, and you said like, what for? Right? Like, what are we doing it all for?
Right. Like, what is the end goal? Where are we going? Where
Yeah.
was going to be that moment, be like, oh, all of that suffering
And there was never
worth
an
it.
end goal. You know, I know people that are multi billionaires and they don't stop. They love it. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't. You never go to a point where I'm like, okay, cool, I'm done.
Did you grow up in Poland? Mm-hmm. So who were you exposed to that kind of showed you that there's a different way of living?
I didn't really feel like I fit. So I was 18 when I left. I left to Australia because I didn't speak a word of English. I was like, I'm gonna go to Australia and like learn how to speak English. Obviously, life changing, right? Because it was like, you know, I was like, they don't fucking speak English. Get me out of here. Like I didn't come. I
Went to learn English. To
yeah, I'm like,
Australia.
this
I
is
love it.
not this is not the country. And then I followed like what I thought I had to follow, you know, to achieve whatever my parents expected me, like get a master's degree. So I didn't got a master's degree. And then at the end of the day, I was just like, I was never really impressed by anybody for a long time. And I feel like that lack of inspiration is like, I was like, I look at people's lives, I'm like, I don't want your life. Like, it's not exciting. And I think it took me a long time to find like early internet and early YouTube and like motivational speakers and like listening to people, you know, Joe Dispenza even, and like being like, oh, like he feels free, you know, like that feels cool, you know, freedom feels cool. I think I just want to like experience that, you know.
And you have. I saw you posted recently of the experience that you adventure, I think is a better way to frame
Oh,
it, of crossing the Pacific Ocean
yeah, on a sailboat.
on a sailboat by yourself. Were you by yourself?
No, it was with my ex, but we neither of us has ever sailed before or had an autopilot. So it's like one person is like steering, the other person is sleeping, and then you switch. But it's kind of like going on a 9-month road trip, but the car can never stop because someone has to be behind the wheel. So it's like intense.
And that was your idea?
We came up with it together because I was like, that looks cool. And I'm like, okay, ignorance is not a bliss. I died so many times.
In
Yeah,
that
yeah,
part, yes.
yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy. So it sounds to me like you just kind of lived your life looking for that,
Like just to
freedom,
feel
learning
alive.
what
Yeah.
it feels to feel free.
I think it's this illusion that it's a trap. Like we think that if I have money or if I have fame, I'm gonna be free. Or like men get together and then like have like a quarter life crisis and leave their families because they're like, oh, I want to have a freedom to explore or freedom to sleep with other people. I want to have a, what is it, polygamy? It's the
Yeah.
polygamy. Like I want to have the freedom to like, you know, sleep with other people, but the freedom you really are looking for is like the freedom from your own,
Yeah.
like the inner
yourself.
critic, right?
Yeah.
The person that's making you so unhappy, and the freedom to be truly yourself. And I think you know that probably, like, as much as you try to be yourself, you know that social media is also a brutal place, and there is a parts of you that like they don't deserve to see parts of Valeria that only your family gets to see because
100%.
they just don't have the capacity to hold space for that.
I mean, you've been on social media for so long, but do you see yourself continuing?
I think I'm changing the way I do things now that I'm pregnant. I'm like, I think I need better boundaries because like people just give no fucks, and I think like my child does not deserve to be,
Yeah.
you know, talked upon or judged just because someone immature adult feels like they're entitled to an opinion. And so I feel like there's definitely has to be some boundaries around how I share because like I've been like sharing everything, and I was like, I don't know if it's that good.
How do you see your business evolving? You're in the midst of it. Like I'm sitting with you and I'm like, she's like a whole new Aggie's gonna to be born with this baby.
I don't know if I'm gonna lean towards pregnancy. I think, you know, with everything happening with AI, just like having your best fitness trainers are actually your therapists, or understanding that it's like the connection between mind, body, and spirit, and like how can you incorporate that, you know, that it's like the things that are weighing you down and make you not really willing to go and get a workout, or the things because you're just worried about something someone said online, or you know, like you have issues at work, and just like how can you holistically approach wellness. And
So that's kind of where you're
I would like to like incorporate
you're
way
seeing
more
it's
AI
going
and
from-
just like
yeah.
have more like female focused wellness, because we just like take the idea that worked for a guy and like it's like, oh, you can work for women. We'll put like a slap pink on it.
Yeah.
And it's female. I'm like, no, it's not. You know, and so I think that's where I'd like to see like wellness, that it's gonna be like female centric.
Any books that changed your life?
Untethered Soul.
Oh my God, love that book.
Yeah. I really like radical forgiveness. I don't know if you know this
No, I've never
concept
read
that
of
like
that.
there's nothing ever to forgive. So obviously it requires context of the book, but I think it's really interesting how we have these soul contracts, and even if someone has hurt you, yeah, you actually attracted that experience into your life, and helps you break out of the victim mentality, which I think everyone's like walking around like in victim mentality 24/7. So
Is there a mantra you live by?
there's a couple. The biggest one is like, isn't that amazing? Like, isn't it amazing? Because it's just that judgment between good or bad. Constantly, is it good or bad? How do I
Is
look?
it like from Kabbalah? Where is this?
No, just trying to like question everything that I think. Just putting a question mark, right? Like it's like, am I tired? Am I tired? Isn't that amazing that I'm tired? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's pretty amazing. I'm tired. That's amazing. You know, like just me trying to like see how everything really is a gift. Because if I'm not tired, I'm probably dead, you know? So it's like part of the human experience.
Right. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
Do you think you're gonna write a book?
I mean, I write it. I don't know if I'm going to publish it, but yeah, I feel like there's definitely something like brewing.
Yeah. I can feel it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I feel it. I'm like trying to figure you out. I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
I had a whole. I'm
Usually like a
telling you.
psychic reading is like a psychic, like reading the whole thing.
Yeah, 100%. No, because again, you came in and I had a very specific conversation in my head, but it doesn't align with who you are right now. So I feel like it's not, you're not giving that energy. So I was like, okay, we're going somewhere else. I love it.
Cool. I love
Well,
it.
I'm excited for this book that you will publish eventually.
Yeah,
Just saying.
fingers crossed.
Aggie, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
This
you,
was
Valeria.
really
You're such a
lovely.
light, and like I'm so happy that we finally met because you're just like your light in person is amazing, and you're everything that I hoped you are.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel the same. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't miss my newest episode right here. And if you're listening to the podcast on Apple or Spotify, please go and leave a review with your biggest takeaway. I love reading your thoughts. They inspire me. So if you have any suggestions for guests or topics, you can leave them in the comment section. And always remember, you are not alone.